later. What is it that makes us not resort to peace? Why is it always us preaching the message of peace? I mean, we preach the message of peace too, so much so that, yeah, we expect that it makes impact, right? But apparently, there is so much violence in the world. So you tell me, have you ever asked yourself why you do not resort to other means to settle things amicably as opposed to violence? I was watching a particular video. Two car owners, I think it was in Lagos. It was in one of these states. So one of the driver had hit the other guy, and he had a dent on his vehicle. The other guy comes out. This other guy was apologizing. I'm sorry. The other guy wasn't having it. He went. Please, I need someone in the studio. He went, picked up something from his car, and wet the other car that had hit him. The guy saw it and said, "What is going on here?" And guess what they started doing? They started breaking things from each other's car. This one broke the headlamp. He used to say, "Oh, you broke my headlamp." He broke the windscreen. He said, "Ah, you broke my windscreen. Okay." He carried another one. Wait, broke the windows. And that was how they kept hitting each other's vehicles. Hitting it. The other one hit and was about to drive off. This one said, "Cha-cha." He entered the car, started the ignition, and was following him. That people were just watching two mature men resort to violence instead of amicably settling things. You hit my car. Why did you hit it? You should be more careful next time. I'm sorry, but I have to call my mechanic. I'll have you pay for this. How about that? That seemed like a better option to me. But no! Who knows? Maybe when they drove off, they went to fight. You go on the roads every now and then and you witness two people fighting. This one is hooking this one shit. It's an eyesore. Sorry to say this. Two mature people. You know, when you see children do things like that, you say, "Oh, they are children. As small picking, they worry them." They are children. But when you see adults hooking shit, hooking trouser, there's a look on their face. People are saying, "No, you don't do. Sorry, no vex." No, you see ladies fighting. Go to the market. This one is throwing this one's pepper away. This one is doing this. Or some husband or some wife is being violent towards their partners. It's not something that we're new to. It's something that has been happening. But then again, why? Is our exhibition of violence a product of nature? That's how we are. It's in our genes. I was born like this. You know how some of you say, "Nasa, they are leave me like that." Some of you say, "Oh, it's because of my zodiac sign." Or it's because of... You try to make excuses for your behavior. Or is it a product of, "Oh, it's the home I grew up in, that's how I was raised. I grew up seeing these things in my environment and I assumed it was normal and I started exhibiting it." So let's talk. Is our exhibition of violence a product of nature or nurture? 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003. Once again, 0817 923 0007. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number for your WhatsApp and Telegram messages: 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Please remember to turn down the volume of your radio set as you call, and also be audible so we can hear your call screeners and stand by to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. On X, we are at Nigeria Info PH, and our Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So I have Divine. Divine is calling from Woji. Good afternoon, Divine. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're asking if it is in our nature. Well, I think anger, and anger is in every man's nature, but we all have the ability to control that anger. Because anger not controlled can become a wildfire. Dennis, you will not believe this. I was driving through Garrison, that was before the flyover was created. I was following the trailer behind, and the woman hit me from behind. Because the trailer stopped, so I like the clock. And behind him, and he came down, he stopped the hell out of me. After that, he called the husband. The husband drove down and came to the point and Jesus officer. As he came, he told me, I looked at my car. He called me outside and said, please, where do you want me to fix the car? I was so impressed I could not talk. I said, sir, you are free to go. I don't want to see the person she was calling to come and finish me. So I entered my car, I drove off. I went to fix my car. So you see, we can control this anger. Depend on the person involved at that particular point in time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Divine. Silva from Choba. Hi, Silva. Welcome. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Now, you see, on this issue of violence, it is a case of nurture. If we check naturally on all individuals, we are born with a trace of anger, a trace of high temper. Some of us are cocktailed at childhood by our parents who understand these things. They teach us how to manage our anger. They teach us how to let go of things. But some of us allow the situation and circumstances surrounding us to be unable to tame our temper. And many a times when we've done damage to things that we shouldn't have, we begin to regret it. What would it cost you to place the next person you are having confrontation with, you are having an issue with, to see the person as you and react the way you will want another person to react to you? But many a times we don't allow these things. You will see somebody, just a little word, oh boy, you're looking dirty on these clothes. Because he's been angry over the way he looks compared to the way his neighbor looks. Because he sees it that this man is doing better than I am. He sees that piece of advice of, oh boy, you're looking dirty on this clothes, as an insult. And he becomes unable to manage the situation. Before you know, he insulted me. He called me dirty. Why should he? Is he better than me? These are the minor things that stir up this. If not, you bought something on credit from somebody. Has the person done you bad to give you that thing? Okay, the person comes and says, if you don't pay me my money, I will deal with you. I will do this. Must you show to the person that you have another way to deal with the person? What does it cost you to swallow your pride and say, please, I don't have your money yet. I will give it to you. Even when the person says you are wayward, you will die as beginners. You don't need to enlighten people.
Okay.
About managing their temper.
All right. Okonkwo, we need to go on a commercial break now. Okonkwo, you have to call back after this break, okay, please?
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we're going to commercial break. We come back. The conversation continues. Our exhibition of violent behavior, is it owned nature or nurture?
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back.
In the break, Okonkwo was on the line. Okonkwo, we are back now. You can call now. Once again, the question remains: our exhibition of violent behavior, is it a product of nurture or is it a product of nature? On Facebook, Chile Edwin says, greetings to you, the presenter. It's purely about nurture and has nothing to do with nature. We're live on Facebook, by the way. Facebook page, Nigeria in. But most importantly, be a part of the conversation by dropping your comments in the comment section. On X, it is at Nigeria Info PH. So I have Edward. I don't know where Edward is calling from. Edward is calling from Rumilumini. All right. Hi, Edward. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
All right, I think the problem is actually, like the former callers have said, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that also. We are so much exposed to an environment very toxic for our own development. I had an experience where I witnessed two drivers, like you say, something close to what you say, but in this case, they were two elderly men. They were way above their 50s. Having a message that was having a for Peugeot something. So they had an accident, and then the other one was like, no, it was not an accident. They just came together on a very narrow road, and the other one was like, you go back. I am your senior. The other one said, no, is it because you're having a Mercedes Benz? I can also tell you that I have a Mercedes Benz in my house. So before you know it, 40 minutes down the line, the other one left his car there, his Peugeot, went to his house and bring his Mercedes for the other man to see that he also has a Mercedes. So it's a very funny thing, but we need, like the last speaker said, we really need some sensitization, some education. Sometimes it may come from our parents, the way we are brought up, and then it's just a little bit of this and that. Thank you so much.
You know, I do not disagree with you because I have witnessed firsthand two children, twins. One of the child hit the other child, and the other child started crying. Guess what the grandmother told the other child? Why you dey cry? Hit them back. And the other child hit the other child back. And they started doing back and forth. This one will hit this one, until the grandmother said, oh yeah, it's okay, people should hug each other. I'm like, how do you tell them to hit each other and now they should hug each other? It only means that their first response to every situation or every attack would be to retaliate. And
we were born like that. And then the environment we grow up in is very toxic. Let me tell you, ma, I travel to some African countries, and whenever I travel, I am very humbled by the way people walk on the street. You see, in Nigeria, with a shout while conversing, holding a normal conversation. But like when you go to some other places, you see that you barely hear what they are talking, even inside the vehicle. But in Nigeria, our talk is aggressive. Hey, you come here, it's aggressive. Hey, I want to give me water to drink, it's aggressive. Even buy pure water, it's also aggressive. It's our nature, man.
It's our nature. Okonkwo, thank you so much for calling back. Welcome back. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon, my brother.
The question whether is violence a part of man nature?
Is it a product of nature or nature? No. Okay.
The reason is because in the Holy Bible of the Almighty God, there's a provision that is called the law of live and the let live. The book of Matthew chapter 22 verse 39. And it was Jesus who set up that law when he was here on earth. So it is not a part of man nature, because when we talk of nature, where people grow up and say people that are wicked. Let me surprise you. A little boy of 8 years was in a family, and the father beat his mother. And that boy became very, very angry. He ran and held the trousers of his father. And the people now came, removed the hand of that boy. And that boy said, Daddy, when I grow up, I will beat you.
Huh?
Yes, I will retaliate on what you have been doing to my mommy. I will fight you. So you could say that the action of that man is now putting wickedness into the mind and the life of that boy. And as that boy said that thing, it has recorded in his brain. I will continue to remember it. So the issue is that there are people that cannot endure challenges. Anything, any little they are provoked. Any little they begin to fight. It is never the nature of man, but when people learn it, as they see wickedness that go on in the society. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Okonkwo. Let me read some of your messages. My name is Lucky Samuel. I think self-discipline is the key because I don't see how a person with self-discipline would just decide to stir up contention. James from Iwafe. Hi, James. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead. Hello, James.
Good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Your topic asks, these things are being nurtured by we human beings that cannot control our temperament.
Okay.
From investigation I've made, I've been in a kind of job that I investigate human beings nearly every day of my life. And I interview them, I talk to them, I listen to them. It doesn't just come overnight, they nurture it. For example, I have a lady friend, a very good lady friend, a very close lady friend. Him and the husband have an issue. The husband divorced her. She actually packed out of the house. She was out of the marriage for safety purpose, but the man was beating her. So we got to a level we talk. So she decided to stay on her own. But over the years, we've been talking. And so our mind is full of vengeance, full of grievance towards men generally. She doesn't want to believe any man, even by even telling her good morning, she does not believe every man, any man. Believe that's how all men are, the way that man treated her. And I kind of tell her, it's not like that. You have to be free. You have to let yourself be. You have to pass over all. Those things that have happened cannot continue to be like that. Get used to people and say your life can change. She said, no, never. She can never trust any man. Even this, I'm telling you, even her own son. She doesn't even trust her own son. I think it's about 14 to 15 years. Don't trust her son because a man get her badly. And she's the one feeding for the whole children. So she does that every other man. So if you don't go for counseling, people don't talk to you over time, you will react negatively. Because it's man that I want to revenge. This man, I will forsake this man, I will do this man. I say, no, it's not like that. If you let this man go, I will kill this man. What will you tell the story? Tell her. How will you tell her?
Oh, James. Sorry, James. Zion from Jare, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
It is our nature, and has been nurtured. That is why you see the violence everywhere. We in Nigeria, our nature is choleric. We are so choleric in nature. We abuse people. We talk to people carelessly. Revenge is always in our heart. Fighting. Everything about us. Even on the road. Before we drive in 10 meters, somebody will blow on. For what? No reason. He just wants to blow up. What do you expect? Look the way we dress our market on the street. Where they ask for pedestrians, people that shouldn't market here. Violence people. Where you say don't build, they will build there. Violence kind of people. So it is our nature. But can you nurture something else? Yes, ma, you can do that. But who is going to nurture that good attitude into this person? Who is going to drive that or promulgate the other side into the person? That is why the church should come in. The family front. Because when you talk about the society is the conglomerate of all these little aspects of the family. That's what makes the society. So our nature, we are choleric. Look at the Americans. They are melancholic. That is why our boys are showing themselves. They call it Yahoo Yahoo. No, it is their nature. They will forgive you. They pity you. You are saying you are doing your no. Then they pity you. Now they give you the money. So not to say you play the 419. No, it is their nature. But see our own. We want to trick people. We want to steal from people. We are angry when people are progressing. We are offended when somebody is making sense in the conversation. We just feel, in short, do you know that some people become so pitiable in nature that they go to the burial and they are carrying the corpse. They wish they are inside there because all the attention is given to the corpse and nobody is looking at them until we work on this nature of our own self. Yes, you are born here, but can you not show yourself not to be like that? That is why we make a comment that says that your environment, you can change what is your environment. Your environment should not influence you. You should influence your environment. I think that is the state we need as a people, Mr. Zion.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Zion. Let me go back to some of your messages. This one says, it's both. Some years ago, a woman provoked me badly. When my in-laws and some elders from my husband's town heard about it because she reported herself and my reaction, they were pleasantly surprised. They actually said, you are a reincarnation of someone we recognize. The you from your past life would have punched that woman's lights out. It was your nature. But if you had touched her in this life, it would have put your husband in serious trouble, and that's what she's trying to achieve. When that woman got in my face, I felt an urge to punch her. Not a slap or a shove, a punch. And it's weird, but I knew in that split second I was about to commit murder. It was like time glitched, and I saw the future. Strangely, how would this affect my husband, was my first thought. Did I jejely put in my earphones and close my eyes so I wouldn't hear or see her ranting? She had to be physically removed, and she was so mad that I wouldn't touch her, and I didn't understand why. But I was really scared, and I was like, what the hell? I know I can have a temper, but I'm not a violent person. I do not go about hitting people. Whether anyone thinks reincarnation is real or not, I believe we are who we are, even if nurture can play a role in how we learn to resolve conflicts. That's why sometimes a person is very different from all their siblings, yet they were all raised by the same person. Or some folks show some behavior when they hammer and people say so and so changed. They didn't change. Their true nature was being suppressed by poverty. Oh my God. Reverend Felix says it is a product of nurture because nature always looks for a place to be nurtured. In the life of a man, then it is the one that you gave room to be nurtured and without being kept under check can grow out of control. Interesting. This other one says, good afternoon, Denise. Even though it's important for us to manage our temperament, it's far more important for the person who is wrong to accept his or her fault. Most quarrels start when people don't know how to say I am sorry. Okay. Acetyl COA from Mile 3 says, Didi, I would have lost my job yesterday if I had engaged in a fight with a colleague at the office. The provocation was so hard on me that my adrenaline knew no bound. I later recalled the saying that you don't go into a battle with someone that even if you win, the supposed loser has nothing to lose. It's a product of nurture. Most of our bitter anger expressed are born out of learned behaviors, not nature. We are what we do every day, and we are what we do every day and not how we are born. Didi, my father-in-law told me a similar story. A man was being owed and the debtor failed to pay. And after much plea, the debtor invited the creditor to come collect his money. The man dropped a letter for his wife and set out to collect his money, only to get there, and he was brutally murdered by the person who had invited him to come collect his money. Violence is in our nature, and over time it has been nurtured, and the younger generation has picked up on it. Black Tribe, send that in. This other one says, in the Bible, when Cain killed Abel, I wonder if that is nature or nurture. The wickedness of man is in the nature of man that has been nurtured over time. If you're just joining us, guess what? It is still the sunny side on your number one station for talk, 92.3 Nigeria Info FM. I did share a story of the untimely demise of a 52-year-old Edo man. Guess what? He died during a fight with the debtor. The story goes that he had gone to meet the younger guy, who is 21, to demand the money owed him. All right? The suspect has been arrested, but this is what the police have to say. They noted that the suspect was arrested by the men of the Igara Police Division following a complaint from the deceased brother, who said the suspect bought a knife from the deceased and failed to pay the money. And the incident happened when the deceased asked to be paid. Orumidaya Awolowo, a 52-year-old man who went to demand money owed him. A fight was said to have ensued between the two, and the deceased was said to have fallen and died. He said the police stormed the scene and discovered 3 houses and 1 motorcycle were set ablaze by angry youths as a result of the incident. According to the PRO, the suspect had confessed to the crime, adding also that the corpse had been deposited at a mortuary for autopsy. But this is what it is. This will not have happened if only someone had behaved better. Whether it's the dead man's fault, whether it's the 21-year-old admitted already. Violent behavior is something we experience every day. The other day I was sharing with you a story of what I witnessed at Rumokoro Market. I've not been there in a while now. A woman, it was going my gender, Sha. A woman was trying to fight a guy that was not trying to fight her. I don't know if you get what I mean. This guy was blending his pepper on his own with his engine he was using to manage life. This woman decided to come and be the mountain before Zerubbabel. Everyone was trying to calm her. I was there. I witnessed how it started. And the guy did not do anything wrong. So you came to blend pepper, right? The person you want to blend your pepper is not around. He went to eat, so the boy said. And then she started attacking him. Is it your business? He said, sorry. I was just being a nice neighbor. My neighbor is not around. He went to eat. More like, if you need this urgently, you will have to give it to someone else to grind for you. He wasn't even particular about grinding it for her. But so she doesn't wait for a very long time. He was just... And then she started raining words, insults. Before you knew, she dragged his shirt. She tore his shirt. Just in a matter of how many seconds. How come? Nature or nurture, this is a woman. And you would expect that a woman would behave differently. Women were raised better, all right? They were raised to be wives to their husbands and mothers to their children. So they were supposed to be the ones instilling morals. If we go by how things used to be done in time past, we're supposed to be calm, queenly, the virtuous woman we are supposed to be, right? We don't speak on all occasions, okay? We bridle our tongue. We know when to speak. We know when to be quiet. We know when to react. We know when to let things go. This was a woman behaving violently. And like I said, the quest to understand why humans kill one another or want to fight one another has occupied the mind of philosophers. It has occupied the mind of sociologists, even psychologists for centuries. Jean-Jacques Rousseau is saying that it is probably influenced by our behavior influenced more by the environment we grow up in. So Thomas is saying it's nature. Now so it's follow come. You know how they say something is follow come. It's factory fitted. That is how it's appeared. If you want to alter it, it's up to you. But this is how it came. Sometimes your phone malfunctions and you want to return to factory settings, right? And then Jean is saying, you know what? It's our environment. Who raised us? If we were living in one particular area, there's an area there, and if you tell people you're from that area, they already look at you in a certain type of way. If you were raised in that area, that's like if you were raised in town, if you were raised in Bundu, if you were raised in Diob, if you were raised in Waterside, this Waterside, Marine-based Waterside, the other side, that's how people used to behave. So if you're violent, they say, it's your environment, your father. If your father was a cultist, what do you expect? Or is it something that's in us that just waits for a particular time to show forth? When we exhibit violent behaviors, is it a product of nature or nurture? Muriel is calling from Okrika. Hi, Muriel. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you, Denise. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's Okrika woman there.
Yes.
Denise, you're in the spirit. I done this conversation at exactly 2:42, and that same time you went back and said, if you're just joining the conversation and you just explained what we were saying, so immediately I called. Now, Denise, God that created man himself, God said the heart of man that he created is desperately wicked. Denise, I don't forget that part of the scripture. That's why I'm very careful with human beings. God that created man said that heart of the man is desperately wicked. And it made me wonder. I've been wondering about this scripture has kept me wondering. Where is God that created man? And God is good. There is no wrong in God. So what is the thing what other spirit, what other thing, what puts that evil in man's heart? And God said he created man in his own image, and God is good. There is no bad attached to God. So what is the force that puts that bad, that wickedness in the heart of man? And Denise, I believe it is that same force that turned Lucifer into Satan. Because if all the angels are good, what changed Lucifer, who was one of the best angels in heaven, and turned him into what he is now? So Denise, that is why I'm very careful. And I think it is in the nature of man to be wicked. That wickedness is nature. And it is not trade. It was jealousy in the heart of everybody. Nobody escapes. That's why sometimes there is this small atom of jealousy that comes. But because of nature, you just know that, what are the jealous person? I beg. Sometimes I've heard someone say, a good person said, younger sisters, person that's senior, got something first, they build a house and a mansion. And sometimes it will just flash into her heart, what if this house burned down? Or what if fire happened? This house just burned. So you say that we know, but because of which is there, God forbid. You know, that nurture is what, in fact, it helps us consider the nature of wickedness that is in all of us. And that's why I train myself. I say, even your friend is more intelligent than you, don't be jealous. Because in my latest, sometimes I know his friend is very smart. I say, don't be jealous, be happy. Because if you're jealous that he's smarter than you, you will not. Sometimes you tell them that it is not more times your classwork said that you're best prepared. It's not more times your classwork. So just work hard to help your children. Your class got admission before you, my daughter, our best friend got admission before. I said, don't bother, be happy for the person. Because that wickedness, that anger, that evil is embedded in everybody. But it is your nurture. Your parents are trained, you say, please don't envy anybody, don't be wicked, don't do bad to anybody. It is nurture that helps curtail that wickedness. So wickedness is nature. Nurture helps you overcome it.
Nurture helps you overcome it. All right, thank you too. The network is okay. All right. And Namdi Uzochukwu Okpara on Facebook says, no one is born a violent person. Circumstances, environment, and parenting plays a critical role on these. Some are inherited traits or seen behavioral pattern from their parents. Bati Barina Iyalo says, good afternoon, Didi. I think it's a product of nurture because everybody is a unique creature. If you're not nurtured well, you will exhibit these violent behaviors in future. Richard Ekanem says, a product of nurture. If we train our children in the way of God, believe me, things we are seeing today will never happen. When people grow up, they can guard themselves well in any situation and any environment. Where was I? Okay, this is says, good afternoon, DD plus W. The lady that uses her brain to full capacity. Yes, indeed. Hope you are doing fine. I am. Thank you. Hope you are as well. Nobody is born violent. However, someone can develop a violent attitude. It could be due to family upbringing, bad association, lack of self-control, lack of emotional intelligence, and so on. Interestingly, a violent person can become a gentle person. Please, what about Daya, your colleague? This is God's Power from on air. I think that's old news. Daya is no longer with us. Yes. Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Hello, Dennis, my name is.
Hi, welcome. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Chief Comrade Ironbraid.
Chief Comrade Ironbraid, you're welcome.
Yes, Dennis, nobody is born wicked. Though the Bible said the heart of man is desperately wicked. And also do not forget, when God created man, he said he is beautiful. So God does not create anybody as a wicked person. Sometimes it's a pair group. Sometimes it's a upbringing. Sometimes it's for the person not to control his temperament. And in all, whosoever, you should ask God fearing. When you have the fear of God, there are some certain things, even within your peer group, you will disassociate yourself. And you will try to see how you can even also persuade other people as such that they will not also indulge in some certain thing that can bring problem to them. So for me, it's a mindset. It's not because God created man and he said the heart of man is desperately wicked. So all men are wicked or women are wicked. No. Even in the Bible, look at this woman, Jezebel. Does it mean that God created her as a wicked woman? No. She has decided to follow that path. So whichever way you feel to follow, that is the way. But I feel that as humans, we should always be able to know that we are human beings. And the person that we will also come across is also a human being. Today is not the last time you can meet that person. Your child or the person's child, both of them might meet somewhere and also bring you people together. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you too. I think you should be our final caller. We have more. Oh dear, so sorry. Back to your messages. Good day, Denise. It's in both our nature and nurture. We are very proud people to the point of arrogance. Amaka sent that in. They don't want to be seen as weaklings. Interesting. Good afternoon, Didi. What put that evil in man? Miriam asked. Well, since the fall, man in general term has never been the same again. When man exhibits evil tendencies, he is merely expressing the deeds of his fallen nature. But that changes when one comes to Christ genuinely. Newton, Ikiri sent that in. When people talk about raising our children in the way of God, I laugh. Cause which God? The same one that asked the Israelites in the Bible to kill enemies who wouldn't let them pass through their land? People should be adopting borrowed religion with sense. Oh. Final caller, David from Alu. Hi, David. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, yes, my take on this, the matter is, it's a very interesting topic, actually.
Mm.
And I believe that it's not possible to nurture what those characters to be, or those tendencies to be nurtured. They have to be there first before they can be nurtured.
Mm.
So it is already in the nature of man to tend towards it, actually. Because looking at your ability to learn things, you find out that man is able to learn the bad things very quickly compared to good things. So one can say that it's in our nature. Man is actually, that's the problem. It's not like it's only the bad things that we have in our nature. We have both sides. But because man is weak, man tends towards the other part or the other side of things. So that is actually my take. It is not possible to nurture what is in existence. It has to be there for it to be nurtured.
Mm.
That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hello?
So, I'm here. David, I'm here. Thank you.
All right.
Wow. I don't want to sound like an ambassador for peace. We should all be ambassadors of peace, I must say. But there are better ways. Oga, I no get your money now. Make I pay you when I get, I beg. Or Oga this or Oga that. As opposed to, okay. Come on for my domot. Come on for my domot. Come on for here. Small thing, you've raised your hand. It's lumpy. Have you seen some people small fight? They are looking for a big stone. They are looking for the object. You see them, they just jump. They are looking for something to carry. They want to break your head. You see that they are looking for bottle or they are looking. Hello, calm down. You know how they say anger lies in the bosom of fools. It's okay to be. Yes. It's okay to be angry. Nobody says you can't be angry. No. But don't sin in your anger. You don't have to. There can be other ways. Sometimes you walk away. You know, when we're going to church, then they say if somebody slaps you on one cheek, turn to the other cheek. Nigerians, we know they hear that one. Or they will say, if someone does something to you, tell the person God bless you and walk away. You know how they say it's easier said than done, but sometimes it saves you a lot of problems. This guy would have done something different and this man will probably still be alive today. Alas, it didn't turn out that way. My name is Denise Deniswallow. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday afternoon with me. I'll be back here tomorrow, 12 noon to 3 p.m. on the sunny side. Follow us on X at Nigeria Info PH, Facebook page Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, Instagram and Threads at Nigeria Info FM _PH. Follow me on X and Instagram at _Denise_Dennis. Follow my Facebook page, Denise Dennis, and follow my Facebook account, Denise Dennis Wallow. Denise is spelled D-E-N-I-S-E, and Dennis is spelled D-N-N-I-S. Up next is Rivers Today, and thereafter, Hard Facts with Kaladakaru Batabo. We are Nigeria Info. Adios.
This is Nigeria's #1 talk radio station.